Gospels now being presented to Cardinal Vallini, and we now bless ourselves as we are being blessed with Christ's very presence present here in the Word. And now for the homily. Those who abide in me, and I in them, bear much fruit, because apart from me, you can do nothing. With these words that we heard from the Gospel of John, Jesus, during the Last Supper, turns to his disciples and exhorts them to remain united to him as branches to the vine. The image of the vine and the branches is very eloquent in order to express how necessary it is that the Christian live in communion with God. The Christian's strength is specifically found there, to have a personal relationship with Jesus, intimate, deep, and to make the Eucharist the high point of his or her relationship with God. Dear brothers and sisters, today we are particularly admiring and are attracted to the life and witness of Carlo Acutis, whom the Church acknowledges as a model and example of Christian life, proposing it to the young above all. It comes spontaneously to ask ourselves, what was special about this young boy, barely 15 years of age? Going through his biography, we find a few firm points that characterize him even from the human point of view. He was a normal boy. He was simple, spontaneous, friendly. Just look at his photo. He loved nature and animals. He played football or soccer. He had many friends among his peers. He was attracted to the modern means of social communication. He was passionate about IT. He was a self-learner and created programs, as Pope Francis said, to spread the gospel, to communicate values and beauty. He had the gift of attracting others, and others saw him as an example. Even as a child, as members of his family testify, he sensed the need for faith and turned his gaze toward Jesus. His love for the Eucharist founded and kept his relationship with God alive. Carlo used to say often, "The Eucharist is my highway to heaven." He used to participate in Holy Mass every day and would remain for long periods of time in adoration before the Blessed Sacrament. Carlo used to say, "Those who draw near to the Eucharist every day will go straight to heaven." Jesus was his friend, teacher, and Savior. He was the strength of his life and the reason for everything he did. He was convinced that to love others and to do them good, he needed to draw energy from the Lord. In this spirit, he was very devoted to the Madonna. In addition, His ardent desire was to attract as many people as possible to Jesus, making himself a proclaimer of the gospel, above all through the example of his life. It was precisely the witness of his faith that spurred him to successfully undertake a work of assiduous evangelization within the worlds he entered in and out of, touching the hearts of the people he would meet, and enkindling in them the desire to change their lives and to draw nearer to God. And he did so with spontaneity, showing the love and goodness of the Lord through what he did and how he behaved. In fact, his ability to witness to the values that he believed in was extraordinary, even to the point of facing misunderstanding, obstacles, and sometimes even being laughed at. Carlo strongly felt the need to help people discover that God is near us and that it is beautiful to be with Him, to enjoy His friendship and His grace. He used every means to communicate this spiritual need, even the most modern means of social communication, which he knew how to use well, in particular the Internet, that he considered a gift of God and an important tool to encounter people and to spread Christian values. His way of thinking would make him say that the Internet was not only a means of evasion, but a space of dialogue, of getting to know others, of sharing, of mutual respect, to be used responsibly without becoming slaves to it, and rejecting online bullying. In the vast virtual world, one needs to know how to distinguish good from evil. In this positive perspective, he would encourage the use of the mass media as a means at the service of the gospel to reach as many people as possible, so they could know how beautiful friendship with the Lord is. To that end, he dedicated himself to organizing an exhibit of the principal Eucharistic miracles that have happened in the world, which he also used when teaching catechism to children. He was very devoted to Our Lady, reciting the Rosary daily. He consecrated himself several times to Mary, renewing his affection for her, and to implore her protection. Prayer and mission, therefore, these are the two distinctive traits of Blessed Carlo Acutis' heroic faith, which in the course of his brief life brought him to entrust himself to the Lord in every circumstance, especially in the most difficult moments. It was in this spirit that he lived and faced with serenity the illness that would lead to his death. Carlo abandoned himself into the arms of Providence, and under the maternal gaze of Mary would repeat, "I want to offer all my sufferings to the Lord, for the Pope and for the Church. I don't want to go to purgatory. I want to go straight to paradise." Let's remind ourselves that it was a 15-year-old boy who spoke like this, revealing a surprising Christian maturity that motivates and encourages us to take the life of faith seriously. Carlo elicited such admiration because of the ardor with which He would defend the sanctity of the family in his conversations and the sacredness of life against abortion and euthanasia. The new blessed also represents a model of fortitude, alien to any form of compromise, aware that in order to remain in Jesus' love, it was necessary to concretely live the gospel, even at the cost of going against the tide. He truly put into practice the words of Jesus, "This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you." This certainty of life is what led him toward the exercise of charity toward his neighbor, above all toward the poor, the lonely and abandoned elderly, the homeless, persons with disabilities, and those whom society marginalized and kept out of sight. Carlo was always welcoming toward all those in need. And when, going to and from school, he would meet them on the street, he would stop and speak with them, listen to their problems, and within his possibilities, he would help them. Carlo was never concentrated on himself, but was able to understand the need and demands of others, in whom he saw Christ's face. In this sense, for example, he never missed out on helping his schoolmates, in particular, those who were experiencing the hardest difficulties. What an enlightening life, therefore, completely given to others, as is the Eucharistic bread. Dear brothers and sisters, the Church rejoices today because in this young blessed, the words of the Lord are fulfilled. I have chosen you, and I have appointed you to go and bear fruit. And Carlo went and bore the fruit of holiness, demonstrating that it is a goal everyone can attain, rather than as something abstract and reserved to a few. His life is a model, particularly for the young, not to seek gratifications solely in passing successes, but in those eternal values that Jesus proposes in the Gospel, namely, to put God first, both in life's great and small situations, to serve one's brothers and sisters, especially the least. The beatification of Carlo Acutis, a son of Lombardy, who was enchanted with the land of St. Francis of Assisi, is good news, a powerful proclamation that a boy of our time, one among many, was conquered by Christ and became a beacon of light for all who want to know him and follow his example. He witnessed that faith does not distance us from life, but rather more deeply immerses us in it, thus indicating the concrete path for living the gospel joyfully. It's up to us to follow that path, attracted by the fascinating experience of Blessed Carlo, so that our lives might also shine with light and hope. Blessed Carlo Acutis, pray for us.